Hi Angie, I'm sorry it took me so long to do this. So I'm just gonna do my best I can now. I appreciate you coming to ask me for these questions, but I'm gonna do my best. I'm by no means an expert on women's rights or Turkish law, but I'll be happy to give my opinion. My name is Sally Newman. I'm 20, and right now I live in Seattle. And well, my experience living in Turkey was really wonderful. I didn't feel super objectified as a woman, but it was more that I was a foreigner, because I look different. I'm white skinned, and when I'd walk down the streets, people would stare at me, but they wouldn't be terribly rude about it. They might call out to me and say "Oh, hey, you are very beautiful," or sometimes grab my butt or whatever. But that just, I don't know. They didn't do that to local Turkish women. They did that to foreign women. So I feel like it's the factor of culture and not a factor of gender. Okay, religion. I would say that religion has probably a little bit to do with it, especially because Turkey is largely just, mostly Islamic, but in Islam, I mean, as far as I know, and again, I'm not an expert in Islam, but my grandma is a Muslim, and I just really don't think that Islam is a religion that is against women. I don't think it's terribly misogynistic. I don't know. It's difficult for me to answer that question just because I don't know everything about Islam that I should. But I do know that in Turkish families, which are generally Muslim, the women are certainly respected and are often the heads of the household. Maybe not financially, because women don't work traditionally as often as men in Turkish families, but they certainly are the heads of the households in a lot of homes that I've seen. Now, this is in modern developed Turkey, like Ankara or Istanbul. I don't have much experience in, say, Eastern Turkey, which is mostly villages, and, in Eastern Turkey near Iran, there were also a lot of, honor killings and everything. So I imagine women are treated much different here. So whatever I answer, I'm going to be answering a lot about metropolitan Turkey and developed Turkey, so Istanbul and Ankara. So it seems like the higher class, or, wealthier populace of Turkey is, nicer to its women, or more tolerant. Yeah, okay. Next question. Husband or family must pay the bride's family a certain amount of money in order to arrange the marriage between the two. Okay. Well, obviously I'm not a big fan of that. I would rather not have my future husband pay my family a certain amount of money to arrange a marriage. But then again, I grow up in a Western culture where my marriage can be about love. For many people, they're just not used to having marriage be about love, and it is a business transaction. So while I wouldn't be okay with that, I'm not a Turkish woman. So perhaps in many cities, a Turkish woman would be very happy to have a husband and to have a husband pay her family, just because it's what she's used to and she knows nothing else. So she can't feel cheated or wronged because there's no alternative for her. So even though I don't think that's right, that's probably because I grew up in a Western culture. As for, you also asked a previous question that I didn't answer, what do I think about women's rights? I think that's a very broad question that's really hard to answer very quickly. But, obviously I'm all for women's rights, but, I don't know how to answer that specifically, because what do I think about women's rights where? And, women's rights here, obviously, even we could do a little bit better. Women's rights in Turkey, I've just been talking about length and that in general. It still depends on the place in Turkey. Turkey's huge. Hey, sorry, apparently my video cut off in the middle, so I'm gonna have to redo the last part. Anyway, I was saying Turkey's huge, and basically my point is that, it's weird to generalize Turkey, because it's such a large country, and because there's such a spectrum between, really, really poor and wealthy, and really fanatically religious and not that religious. So in the fanatically religious sects of Turkey, which are normally like the eastern Turkey and like southeastern Turkey closer to Iran, women are treated poorly. Women are married off despite the law that says they shouldn't be married before 18, and women are killed sometimes. They're called honor killings, if they're not virgins when they're married. So there's... But in the cities, it just seems very Western. Istanbul seems very Western, for instance. Ankara seems very Western. I've seen professional women walking around. Women clearly have jobs and can be wealthy in Turkey, but it would be easier for them to do it in Western countries just because Western countries are generally the whole country, mostly, has the same opinion towards, like, women, or, there isn't, like, for instance, an area of Germany that is much more fanatically religious than the rest, whereas Turkey is very much divided between Eastern and Western. All right. So yes, women would have greater opportunities to achieve personal achievements in Western countries, except for Turkish cities, where they have equal opportunities. Okay, and finally, I definitely do think there's hope for women in the Middle East. Despite my saying that in, the rural parts of Turkey, they're treated very poorly, that does have potential to change, just because... Like in Kuwait, women just got the right to vote a few years ago, so changes are happening in the Middle East for women, and hopefully they'll continue to happen in Turkey. So that would be really great. Okay. Oh, okay. I also didn't have religion. I'm not an expert on Islam, but I know that Islam. Oh wait, no, I did already answer that. I'm sorry. I think I already did say that. Okay. And, certain amount of money. Okay. I think that I answered everything. If I didn't, just, I'm really sorry, and I think that that's it. Basically, all I was trying to say is that, women are treated poorly in Turkey, but only in the small towns, where people are uneducated and, I guess really religious. But again, they're interpreting, the Quran wrong. Or in a different way, not wrong. Just because, I know a lot of religious Turks. My grandma is very staunchly Muslim, but she obviously is a woman, and say my grandpa is also staunchly Muslim, and he's not against women. So religion is another hard thing to talk about, because people can interpret it all their different ways. So it might be a factor to some, but only because they choose to interpret it that way. So I hope this was helpful. And good luck with your presentation. I'm sorry this had to be in 2 videos. That was weird. But I'll see you later, and good luck. I hope this helped. Bye.